There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade.
Hello YouTube, it's LilDerrick.Comics back with another video, and we are going to be reacting to Blade, the one and only character reveal trailer from Marvel Rivals. So I know y'all been waiting for this character. Dude has been asleep for the entirety of the game dang near since literally season 1. Not season 0, but season 1. But I'm excited. Bro needs to be in this game like immediately, expeditiously. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let the trailer play out one time just to give my initial reaction and so y'all can see the trailer, and then I'm gonna go in and give a breakdown of the character. So with all that being said, if you like content like this, if you want to see more Marvel Rivals, leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. But let's go ahead and start the vid.
I'll fight to end the darkness that spawned me.
That team is insane, by the way.
Slice and dice. Silver bullet.
Okay.
The hunt is on.
Go!
What a hack. Judgment's coming. Still got an edge.
Oh.
1,000 gods! Bury the light.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Okay. August 8th? Alright, shoot. Nah, he looked dope. I like his little like sword, like anime kind of sword moves where he's like going through it and chopping people up. That's dope. I think he had like a parry. Oh my gosh. He looks like he's got a lot of like different elements of, say, like Iron Fist, a little bit of Punisher with the gun. He looks dope. He looks so freaking dope. All right, now let's break down this character. Okay, so first off, he comes in and he does this little parry, right? So this is his right click. First off, he can block Mantis's little sleep thing, right? So this will be very scary for the healers because if you're Luna Snow, he can block your ice. And this can also be good if he's like trying to prevent his team from getting hit by certain things. He can kind of tank ever so slightly because this does also provide like a damage reduction. We'll see in a second. So yeah, you can see he's barely taking any damage, and once he cancels out of it, that's when he takes a lot of that red damage, right? So yeah, he's taking like a lot of damage now that he's not in the parry stance, but you know, when he's in the parry stance, it provides a damage reduction and it blocks a lot of just things that can stun him, putting him asleep. So very useful tool. And then when he comes out of this stance, he goes into his left shift, I believe. So you see he goes into the left shift and then he goes into the spinning move. Now this spinning move, I don't know how it works because his primary fire is, you know, his just swinging the sword around. Okay. And then the parry is the parry. And then his left shift is kind of fencing stance where he just like dashes and stabs you with the sword. So I'm not sure how you get this right here. It's really been bothering me the whole time. If I had to guess, because it can't be his melee. That's way too complex to be a melee attack. But it's probably attached to either his right click, which is the parry. Like maybe you can do it, but that doesn't make sense because he did the parry and then he went into that left shift, so that doesn't make sense either. This one's bothering me. If you know how this works, leave it in the comments. But I don't know how you get this spinning move, but it's very useful though. It's very useful. Maybe we'll figure it out as we go along. But yeah, he goes into the spinning move, does a ton of damage, and then goes into his primary fire, and then he switches to his gun. So you can switch between primary fire, sword, or you can use the gun. I'm sure when you alternate between the two, you reload, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it pretty much works with the other characters like Punisher and I want to say that's also how Black Widow works, but that spinning move is what's really getting me. Everything else makes sense. But yeah, he switches to his gun, and then right here he does the left shift again, and then he kind of pushes him back with his gun. So he zooms forward, shoots, and then it looks like it pushes Magneto back. And then he parries Magneto's attack and gets a headshot. So obviously with this type of gun, you can get headshots. I don't think he's like a hit scan character or anything like that, but you do have the options of switching between melee and long range, similar to Black Widow. And I think when you cancel out of the left shift to the gun, it does do a pushback. I don't think that's the normal effect of the shotgun, but that's what it seems like to me. And then right here, we got an interesting kind of team battle going on. So, you know, we see that pushback again right here. After he comes from, like, I'm assuming that's the shift. He kind of zoomed in really quick. Maybe his gun and his knife have like secondary abilities to them, because it seems like the gun's getting some pushback, and it seems like the blade is getting, you know, the little spinning twirl. So it's really weird. This one is really baffling me. But yeah, he switches stance. That's his stance when he switches to the sword. So yeah, he's in mid-fight and then switches stances in the middle of a fight. So it's pretty seamless. And then he starts, you know, swinging. And then he goes into that spin again. And he's not using like the left shift or anything like that. So my guess right here is maybe, because it can't be a passive either. Like I tried to look this stuff up. It's not, I don't think it's a passive, and it's kind of random to be a passive. Like when Jean Grey like fills up the meter, she gets like that explosion off of it, but he just seems like he's canceling into that spin. And like we can see when he's doing it, the only thing active right there is like the bats, which I do have to talk about the bats. The bats are his E ability, and right when he switches stances, that's when he activates them. So he's got the bats out, and what do? So it provides like a life steal, so you can kind of see him healing in a sense. He can't get healed while he does this. Keep that in mind. He can only life steal. So this is good if there's a lot of people, maybe, or maybe not, depending on how much damage you're taking. But in this situation where he's 1v1 in a tank, it's really good because Emma can only do so much damage, and Blade, with these bats out, I'm assuming probably gets even more damage, and he's stealing your life on top of it. So, and then I'm assuming as that meter builds, you get to do more damage. And maybe the more damage you do, the more you can use the little spinning blade, because it's red every time you use it. So I guess the higher your meter, the more you can just do that. Because he does it again here. And like, again, nothing else is on the cooldown. And I'm assuming it comes from the shift. You could probably cancel the shift into that. I think you cancel the shift into the spinning attack. And I think depending on how much meter you have, you can like use it limitlessly maybe. So if that's the case, he can be very dangerous once he's kind of gotten the meter up. Kind of like how when Emma fills up her meter, she can just kind of shred people. I think once his meter fills up, he can just kind of shred people. Because you see, he did it pretty much like twice in a row once it was at 10. So yeah, I think the meter determines how much of that spin you get. All right, and right here we get his ultimate. So first off, that left shift can take you pretty high into the air. Like he just flew clean up into the sky. So he's got some nice mobility options there. And you know, he's got the bats active as well. And I think that's going to be important in a second. So he uses the move, and this is a very dramatic camera angle, but his move isn't like a cinematic. This is just part of the recording, kind of how you can go back and watch the replays. But yeah, he goes into it, and with the bats active, he pretty much steals all that health. So you saw how he was at like 160 at the start of this. and then he does the ultimate, and then he shreds them and takes all that health. So these bats are going to be your best friend, quite literally. You have to be careful about it because if you use that cooldown, I don't know how long that cooldown is on for. But yeah, so immediately after the ultimate, he just kind of comes back down and he's like back to normal. It's not like he's stunned. It's not like he's taking a dramatic pose and it's a cinematic. I know that's what it looks like, but right here is interesting too. So we see the shift again and he goes into his spinning blade. And again, I'm assuming with the bats active, he can get more of it. And then right here, he's going into his ultimate, and this is like the grounded version. So at least when he's on the ground, he has like some startup to it. And you can see he can either confirm or cancel it. I don't know why you'd want to cancel it, especially in this situation when you're getting lit up. But yeah, he's on the verge of death. But he does have these bats active. And you see once he like slices through them, his health like immediately just comes back. I'm gonna see if I can get it like on the frame. Dang it, I can't. Yeah, but basically he steals all that health. And not only does he steal all that health and gets his max health back, you can also see his glowing eyes. That's pretty cool. But he destroys Loki's little healing field, cuts through Namor's squids, and it also goes through Strange's shield, and it destroys Punisher and his turret at the same time. They both take damage. So this will be really good in team fights. I know when Phoenix dropped and she had her ultimate, I was kind of saying like it's probably not the best for like wiping teams or anything like that, but it's good for like taking out things that are on the map. This looks like it'll cut through a lot of things. It probably like Groot Wall might be a thing to maybe stop this, but if he can get past a Groot Wall, like if it's not blocking him, like if there's a crack in between the Groot Walls he can fit through, he probably just take out anybody behind those Groot Walls. So this can be very dangerous. But yeah, that's basically my breakdown for the Blade trailer. He looks pretty sick. I think he's going to be a really fun DPS. But yeah, I feel like that lifesteal is going to be an absolute game changer. The little spinning blade is like getting me because I genuinely don't completely know how that works. The fact that he could like parry so many different things without taking certain effects and block damage will make him really good. Maybe not like a Mr. Fantastic situation where he's like a pseudo tank, but a lot of his tools can be very useful. And I think the bats and the lifesteal especially in combination with the ultimate are really going to set him off. I don't know how easy or difficult he's going to be, but he doesn't look like the easiest character. So a lot of people are probably going to pick him day one, but I think in the long run, he'll kind of die down. A lot of people will still be trying to use him, but you know, it is what it is. It kind of comes with the territory. So let me know what you think about Blade. Clarify anything that I kind of messed up, because again, I was a little confused about some of his moves. But yeah, I'm excited for him and season 3.5. I should have a reaction video to like the dev talk they had earlier today. So stay tuned for that, and like the video and subscribe for more Marvel Rivals content. So with all that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.